Hi, welcome to Wisecat. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different. No specific topic, but just news and updates and things like that, because there's a lot of things have recently been happening, and I just thought I'd catch up with all of those things that have been going on. So let's go to them. I'm going to show you a few websites and things like that, and we'll check them out. So first of all, big news was in February, I went to the Moodlemoot Japan in Kyoto, and it was awesome. It was just a fantastic showing of a whole bunch of presentations and everything. Not a single bad one in the whole bunch. They were all fantastic. So, I would, I saw some highlights. To give some highlights, actually, from Moodle HQ, we had Maria Asher and Brett Dalton actually were coming in, and they both gave fantastic presentations. Marie was talking about the roadmap and where Moodle's going in the future. Brett Dalton gave a bit more of the future of the AI subsystem as well, because it's kind of in its infancy at the moment, so that was a very welcome addition. It's definitely exciting times, and it'll be very interesting to see how the Moodle makes good use of AI in the near future. Gordon Bateson also was talking about AI, but he sort of spoke about it more from the perspective of actually using it in education. So that was also fantastic. And Tomoyo Saito from Yamaguchi University, he gave a great one that was illustrating the challenges and strategies for managing Moodles at a really larger scale. So Yamaguchi University having lots and lots and lots of users, so they have to have multiple server environments. They work in bigger environments than I ever have. So it was amazing to see just the challenges and strategies that he was facing from that other side of massive Moodles, because I usually only deal with smaller, like, single server setups and things like that. So that was quite interesting as well. Socially, also, the networking reception, fantastic. It was awesome. It was just so great. It was just everything was wonderful. So really, really had a really awesome time. I mean, I'm still reeling from it. It was one of the best moots I've ever attended, I would say, because I mean, it wasn't big. It just had all the feelings of the community coming together and being excited about doing wonderful things. And so that's kind of what you can hope for. At that presentation, I did say all the presentations were great, which is a little self-serving because I did a couple. I led a couple of workshops for absolute beginner Moodle, and I think it's always important to have an absolute beginner Moodle workshop at every Moodlemoot. So I led the one this year, and also I did another one for security and updates using Git as well. In addition, some of my friends as well, like Alexandra Burke, she did a great one on, using Moodle as a way of creating accessible content, so that making the content that typically would be on black and white paper alone, making that accessible using Moodle, using the technology to make it so that education is reachable by everybody, which is a sort of it's not really looked at all that often, but it's an incredible strength of Moodle that it can actually easily convert educational content into universally accessible content. So that was a fantastic addition to the thing as well. Also, Bill White as well, he did Moodlebox and Raspberry Pi, so using a Raspberry Pi to self-host a Moodle, and he was just saying, yeah, you can grab one of these, a Raspberry Pi, and you can just put it in your classroom, and bang, you've got a testing platform, which was quite an interesting application for it. And also, one of the things that he was mentioning was, if you do this and they're connecting to this Wi-Fi, and this Wi-Fi doesn't have an external internet connection, yeah, it's going to be harder for them to use the internet to Google the answers for the questions and things like that during the test, right? Which is, cute and fun, and I kind of like the idea. I mean, not from a really policing perspective, but just as it's an interesting project, so that was cool too. In addition, I did a workshop on security and updates with Git, which is one of the ones that I really am passionate about, is, you know, keeping your Moodles up to date with Git. You've probably seen other videos of mine on that topic. And I even did a second presentation later on in the conference where I was talking about the security of Moodle sites in Japan, or lack thereof. Basically saying, hey, there are a lot of sites that are actually out of date, and we need to, step up our game a bit and get them better updated. And this is a little ironic because this basically the day before. Other news, Moodle announced that it was announced on the Moodle forums actually by Andrew Lyons on, so the Moodlemoot starts on the 27th, and on the 26th this comes out. That Moodle is actually changing the way it's actually going to be deployed. Now this is going to lead to, of course, new videos later in the year. But basically, there's a lot of things are going to be changing in terms of the structure, and Moodle's going to be moving the public code, the code that should be public facing, into a public subdirectory. Now, what does this mean for us? It means a lot of things, but basically one of the things that I am very happy to see, for example, is the config.php file being out of the public www root. That is definitely a step in the right direction from what I can tell, because the config.php file being in www root's typically not a massive problem until it is. As in, until the web server has trouble dealing with PHP files and then just decides to put the plain text out there. So your config.php, which has your database password, user password configuration, everything like that, just being publicly visible, not great. So that's going to be impressive. One other thing that they're bringing up is Composer. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Composer is coming, and a lot of people, I think, are looking forward to this. Me, perhaps not as much, especially I've been plugging the Git for Moodle installation and everything for so long that now it's sort of like, oh, okay, time to change gears. But I recognize the idea. Composer is great for dependency management and stuff like that as well, so it should make for an easier install process in the future. Well, we'll see. There are things that I need to look into with Composer as well. I mean, I haven't used Composer very much except for to run a few Drupal sites and things like that. And I don't remember ever really liking it and finding it as easy and intuitive as Git, but hey, we'll see how it goes in the future. Also, so Composer is going to be used for installs. Node.js and things like that are also going to be outside of the public directory, and vendor and node modules directories are going to be outside as well. As well, some metadata and configuration files. So what does this mean to me? This actually suggests to me that, for example, with your Nginx configuration, typically this section here, hiding internal files, this section here where it's talking about return a 404, whenever you say see the vendor, node modules, Composer and everything, this is all likely to change. This particular configuration might even disappear almost completely because there won't be things that you need to configure the web server to hide. So that's going to make, I'm very happy about this particular change because it makes it harder for a server to be misconfigured. Which, so a secure configuration includes this. This line is very important because, for example, as I was presenting on at the Moot, if you can see, for example, the upgrading MD files or the upgrade.txt files in an installation, you can determine what the Moodle version is that's running, and therefore you know what vulnerabilities that Moodle is vulnerable to. So you can attack it. It's basically a blueprint for how someone might attack a Moodle. So having that not visible from the get-go, having that all hidden away from the get-go in this idea of having the metadata hidden away, fantastic move. I'm looking forward to seeing, Moodles all over the world becoming more secure because of this. Okay, so document groups, what's actually going to change? How does this affect you? I like that Andrew Lyons added this to his post, but basically the document group's moving. And also there's a routing engine is coming in as well. It exists, doesn't really do anything at the moment in 4.5, but in 5.0 and 5.1 that's going to become necessary, so which makes sense. 4.5 is an LTS, so it's the release after an LTS tends to be the release where you see things that new compulsory configuration and things like that coming. So I'll be doing videos on this sometime in the near future as well, because I'm also hoping to do a sneak peek into Moodle 5.0. So I got a lot of videos on my to-do list at the moment. But anyway, if you want to check this out, I will leave links to this post and things like that in the video before. There are also, there's the tracker issue and also talking about configuring the router and how the router is going to need its configuration added. At the moment, it doesn't make entirely good sense to me because it's sort of, as a fallback, it's sort of saying r.php and there's no semicolon on the end of that. There probably should be. So it looks like actually the documentation also is not quite complete. Yeah, that doesn't look right to me without a semicolon on the end. I might log in and add a semicolon there, but yeah, so it looks like the docs at the moment are a bit of a work in progress as well. So I'm probably going to also try a few different things and see how it stabilizes before that happens. But the idea is that a fallback resource, basically it's going to, when somebody requests a site from the Moodle, it's going to say, okay, try the URI directly, and if that doesn't work, fall back to r.php, and that's your routing engine. And so that's also got another little interesting add-on effect, I think, will be that there won't be a 404 configuration that's really needed anymore. Whereas in the past, it was good idea to have 404s sent to Moodle for formatting. So let's go back a version. Let's go to 4.4 docs and see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, so try files. First of all, try serving the file, and if not, give it a 404. And this thing here, this error page configuration, I imagine that this is going to be, yeah, because this didn't exist in the last one, right? We just went straight to hiding internal. Yeah, so this is almost certainly going to be taken care of by the 404 errors, and the 403 error pages are going to be taken care of by r.php. So there's a lot of interesting things that are moving. That's going to, it's going to simplify the web config that we need to have a nice secure Moodle. So definitely looking forward to that. Need to install Composer and Node.js dependencies. Okay, this one strikes me as a little bit of a double-edged sword. I am not a massive fan of Composer and NPM and stuff like that, but some people are, and this is likely to be, well, for me, this is definitely going to be a learning experience because I'm not completely up to speed with Composer and Node.js yet, but I will be, and I will definitely be making videos with my newly learned how Moodle does things with Composer and Node.js. So those also will be coming over the next year. Apparently Git and stuff like that. So, yeah, Git's not terrible still, but basically my recommendation would be, hey, if this is where they're headed, we need to get there. So don't, although I love using Git and I find Git very, very good and easy to use, yeah, I'm not going to just hug Git forever if this is the way the world is moving. So unfortunately, a lot of the videos that I've done before about Git are becoming somewhat obsolete in the future post 5.0 versions of Moodle. So still very, very good for up to 4.5 though. So Anyway, yeah, it was kind of a bit weird, a bit shocking for me to see this post the day before I was giving a presentation, because this is literally on the 27th, right? On February 27th, I'm giving a presentation saying, hey, everybody, get on Git and get your updates and upgrades happening on Git. And then the very next day, the day before I'm doing that, this comes out and says, hey, we're going to be switching to Composer. Just the timing completely hit me for six. Anyway, we've got that routing or routing, as some people may say, but I like to say routing. I think it sounds more fun. That's happening. You can actually go to the GitHub page at the moment, and you can see r.php. So if you're interested in checking out the code, there it is. It's in the main branch at the moment, so you can actually sort of see what it does and things like that. And yeah, other things are going to be changing. So we've got an exciting we've got an exciting year ahead. Unfortunately, I don't really have time to go into everything in depth today, and I don't have enough time to make all those videos right now. There are a few others that I'm also hoping to make. One that, the reason I've got my Raspberry Pi out is because I'm looking forward to making one coming fairly soon about Moon Pi Llama. Basically, it's a crazy idea. Tiny little Raspberry Pi 4, gonna install a Moodle box and a llama all in the Pi. How's that gonna go? Is it gonna work or not? I don't know. Probably be the next video, so come along with me for that one. And until then, I'll catch you later. Happy moodling. See ya.